Today's video we're going to change the brake pads on this Ducati Multistrada for our 4-pot Brembos. Let's have a look at what we need to do the job. The gear we need for this job: needle nose pliers, sterile syringe, you know, because of COVID and everything, Allen socket, a torque wrench, a Phillips screwdriver, some fresh water and some soapy water and a brush. Let's get into it. Okay, I like to remove the pads before I take the calipers off. If the pins are sticky, it gives you more to pull on rather than trying to do it in your hands. And of course, with the pads out, it's a lot easier to remove the unit without having to do anything else. First thing we do, remove these pins. These little pins, basic retaining pins holding the main pins in. Don't lose those. Next thing to do, we pull out these pins. These ones coming out pretty easy, which is good. Now you've got this cover here, retaining clip, I guess. Note the arrow pointing up with the way it goes back in. Here's our pads. Let's work them out. And that's not actually too bad. Right, next thing we need to do, get the calipers off. This one here, I'm going to have to kick this cable here. So, get that off first. Okay. Right, here we go. Take the caliper off. There we have it. Calipers off. See the pistons in there. First thing I'm going to do is give it a clean up. There's bits of dust, brake dust in there. It can eventually work in and ruin the seal, so I'm going to give it a clean up first. Okay, I've just got some dishwashing liquid and some water. Just going to work it in, mainly around the pistons. So before we push the pistons in, we're going to just crack the fluid reservoir so that the fluid has got somewhere to go when we push the pistons in, and of course there's no pressure. Otherwise you're trying to push the pistons in against the whole system. So we're just going to crack this. Now I've already done the first one, and so when you put your pads on, of course, it displaces the liquid. So this reservoir is quite full, and we're going to drag a bit out. Okay, reservoir cap is off. As you can see, it's very full. And this is why we use the this is where we use the syringe, just to get some of that fluid out so it doesn't spill out over the top and make a mess everywhere. I'm not going to take too much out. I don't want to go below the level of the intake. I don't want to leave any room for air in there. Okay, I'll keep that for later, top it back up. Okay, as I push the pistons in, we should see that level start to rise. See it rising there. Make sure you don't overflow it. I've got a rag in my pocket if it does. Okay, we've got all our pistons in, so we're ready to put it back on the bike. Okay, new pads, just gently put them in. Don't want to go too far. I've got the pins to go. This top clip goes in. I forget how we had that. Goes around the pin, so it has to go in before we put the pins in. Okay, ready for the clips. Split pins go in. Okay, the split pins are in. They hold the bigger pins there. Tuck them underneath that clip. Just a bit of safety. Go around as well. Part's done. Okay, talking up manufacturer's recommendations for this bike: 45 newtons or 33.2 pounds. So torque wrench on. Not too bad. Okay, pads are in. Just gonna gently pump till she's hard. This system has not let any air into the to the lines at all. As long as you haven't cracked the bleeder valve at the bottom or sucking in any air here up here at the top. So she's firm now. Job done. Cap on. Couple things to be careful of. Make sure you haven't spilt any brake fluid. It will strip out your paint. So if you have, rag and a bit of water, neutralise that. Make sure you've torqued up bolts properly and the clips are in correctly. Pump up your brakes before you go out for a ride and take it easy for the first 10 minutes or so. If you ride, make sure that everything's working properly. And that's it. Job should take you about half an hour. Do both sides, assuming you don't run into any problems. Anyway, have a good day. Safe riding, everybody.